Hey everyone, welcome to the latest edition of the Agile PMP. CJ Mills here with your latest edition. So we normally will call this our Wednesday workshop. So I want to give you guys a little information today on how you shift risk using contract types. So 3 types of contracts that you guys can use. All right, there are time and material contracts. These are hourly contracts. There's cost reimbursable contracts where you as the buyer will pay for all of the cost and then you'll end up paying for some labor rate. And then there's firm fixed price contracts where you pay one single rate. So let's start with the firm fixed price contracts. Right? 3 types of these contracts, right? Fixed price contracts. There's the firm fixed price, which is probably the most standard. That is where we're going to pay somebody some fee to do the work, right? I'm going to pay you a dollar amount, and it doesn't matter what the materials cost, what the supplies cost. You're going to pay for this in terms of a buyer, and that's it. You're going to pay $1 amount. So let's say you're paying someone to do your landscaping, and you pay them $500 to maybe put in a tree, put some sod out. They're going to supply the sod, they're going to supply the labor, they're going to supply the trees, they're going to bring all the supplies, all the materials, and you're going to pay one fee for that. All right, firm fixed price. Then there's a fixed price plus incentive fee. This is the idea that you want to pay somebody a fixed price for their labor, and you're going to pay them some incentive, maybe to get the job done quicker, maybe to keep costs down, maybe to keep debris or keep trash out, keep the job site clean, something like that. So fixed price incentive fee, right? The incentive being something that makes you feel good, some objective that you want them to achieve. So that's your fixed price incentive fee type contract. Then there's fixed price economic price adjustment. All right, this is the idea that you might have a project or you might have some contract with someone that's going to span more than 2 or 3 years. So let's say you're the seller. Let's say you're the seller in this situation, you're not the buyer, but you're the seller and you're selling your services. You might want to have a fixed price with an economic price adjustment because maybe the cost of living is going to go up next year. The cost of gas has been fluctuating the last 5 or 6 years. The cost of all kinds of goods and commodities and materials and supplies, they go up and down. So you want to have some type of economic price adjustment to ensure that you're not sort of getting a short end of the stick, years down the road. And even if you're the buyer, it's the same thing. Maybe what's expensive now won't be expensive next year or the year after. So that's your fixed price incentive fee. Your fixed price economic price adjustment. That's the idea of making sure that you have the ability to adjust that cost. And that will be tied to some index. Maybe S&P index might be tied to the Fed rate, inflation rate, something like that. So fixed price economic price adjustment. So 3 types of fixed price contracts. Firm fixed price, that's what we're used to paying most of the time. Fixed price incentive fee, incentive to get something done quicker or to keep costs down, something like that. And fixed price with economic price adjustment. We're going to make some adjustments, cost of living adjustments or inflation rate adjustments. Second type of contract are cost reimbursable contracts. This is where you as the buyer will pay for all the cost, or you as a seller don't pay for any of the cost. Your client will pay for all the cost. And so in this sense, there's 4 types of cost reimbursable contracts. First, we have the cost plus a percentage of cost. So let's go back to the example of you're going to pay somebody to do your landscaping, and maybe it costs a couple $100 for a few trees, a couple $100 for the sod, and maybe you have some mulch, another $100. So that's $500 total. So that's the cost, and then maybe you're going to pay somebody a percentage of the cost. So you pay them, 20%. All right, so if 10% of 500 is 50, then 20% will be $100. So you're going to end up paying $600 in that situation. So cost plus percentage of cost is where you're going to pay for all the materials, the supplies, and then you're going to pay somebody a percentage of whatever those materials and supplies are to do the labor, to do the work for you. So that's your cost plus percentage of cost. Then there's a cost plus fixed fee. All right, so that's probably the most standard type of cost reimbursable contract that we see out there. So imagine you're getting your kitchen remodeled. Maybe you're going to pay for the cost of the cabinets, the cost of the tiles, if you're getting your floor redone, the cost of the granite countertops. You're going to pay for the cost of all the materials, and then you're going to pay someone a fixed fee to do the work. You're going to pay some contractor a fixed fee to hang the cabinets and install the countertops and do the labor. Right? So that's your cost plus fixed fee, the most standard type of cost reimbursable contract. Then you have a cost plus incentive fee. Right, so just like a fixed price incentive fee, there's some incentive to keep costs down. you're going to pay for all of the costs. So this time, instead of paying a fixed fee for someone's labor, now you're just paying for the cost, and you're going to pay them an incentive fee, again, to either get the job done quicker, or to not have a lot of trash or waste, or to keep their labor rate down, right? The less they spend in labor, the more of an incentive that you give them, right? Or the more that they spend in labor, the less of an incentive that you give them, right? It could be time, it could be labor, it could be materials, it could be all kinds of things. So that's cost plus incentive fee. Then you got a cost plus award fee. This is sort of like going to a restaurant and ordering a meal, and you're going to pay the cost of that meal, and you're going to award the waiter or the waitress some fee based on how you feel, how you think the service was. So that's your cost plus award fee. Very subjective. You don't really know as a seller what the buyer is going to feel. You don't know if they're going to award you that fee or not. So those are the 4 types of cost reimbursable contracts: cost plus percentage of cost plus fixed fee, cost plus incentive fee, and cost plus award fee. And then the last type of contract that you have are time and material contracts, or sometimes we know these as hourly contracts. So this is where you're just going to pay someone by the hour to do the job, because you can't quite really determine exactly what it is that you want them to do. You can't spell it out 100% so that they can give you some type of firm fixed price. So you're just going to say, hey, I'll pay you, X amount of dollars an hour to do the job, and do it until you get the job done. Now, hopefully that person doesn't just drag their feet and take their time, and then all of a sudden, they're running up a bill because they're taking forever to complete the job. So that would be up to you as the buyer to sort of manage that situation. But that's what time and materials or hourly contracts are. So fixed price contracts, all the risk sits with the seller. No risk with the buyer there. Well, I shouldn't say no risk, but minimal risk to you as a buyer, a lot of risk to you as a seller for a fixed price contract, because somebody may come back and say, hey, the job's not done, or I thought you were going to do X, Y, and Z, but you only did X and Y. I need you to do Z, or I'm not paying you. All right, so fixed price contracts, all the risk sits with the seller. Cost reimbursable contracts, the risk sits with the buyer, because in that sense, the seller, they have a vested interest to just make costs go up, especially if it's a cost plus percentage of cost, and I'm the seller. Well, then what incentive would I have to keep costs down? If I'm going to get a percentage of the cost, then I want your costs to go up and up and up. So cost reimbursable contracts, the risk sits with the buyer, because you have no control over those costs. You don't know what that number is going to be. It's not fixed, and it can go on and on and on. And then in time and material contracts, hourly contracts, risk also sits with the buyer in those scenarios, because you could even pay someone an hourly contract not to exceed a certain amount, but they don't finish the job. So you've paid them all this money and they didn't complete it. So the risk is with the buyer there. So these are the contract types. I want you guys to know about these, so that way you can use these contracts to shift risk. If you're the buyer and you have a seller that's proposing a type of contract, you can move from time and materials or cost reimbursable contracts over to fixed price contracts, and then vice versa. If you're the seller, you want to get out of those fixed price contracts and you want to get to an hourly or time and material contracts or a cost reimbursable contract. So that's it. Those are the contract types. Use them to your advantage. Hope this video has been incredibly useful for you. Please share this video. There's a lot of people that need to know about these contract types. Save them some money. And as always, create solutions, adapt processes, and think strategically. Good night.